You're listening to the Power Agent Blogcast, empowering agents to elevate their business to the next level.
Challenges are just a guide, leading you, don't run and hide. You've got the heart, you've got the drive, feel it pound, you're alive. Power Agent.
Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, our mission here is pretty simple. We want to cut through all the noise and get you that useful knowledge fast.
Get straight to the good stuff.
Exactly. And today, we're taking a bit of an unexpected path. We're going way back, like 2,000 years, to dissect Halloween's origins to, well, modern business resilience.
Yeah, it sounds like a stretch, maybe, but the sources we looked at for this deep dive, they draw this really powerful parallel.
Okay.
Between, the uncertainty faced during the old Celtic festival of Samhain and the ups and downs of today's markets.
Yeah.
Especially for folks in fields like, say, real estate.
Yeah.
It's quite volatile.
Right. So this isn't just a fun history lesson about trick-or-treating or anything.
No, not at all.
We're really aiming to pull out some solid practical wisdom here. Lessons about growth, about perseverance, from a tradition that was, fundamentally about survival.
That's the core of it. How do you turn those tough, lean market times into actual opportunities? Mm-hmm. And looking back at Samhain, it wasn't just a party. It was this massive societal shift, a moment of transformation.
Transformation how?
Well, it marked the end of the harvest, the time of plenty, and the start of winter. The difficult, dark, unpredictable winter.
Ah, okay.
So the focus really has to be on that idea.
Yeah.
Proactive preparation. Getting ready when you know uncertainty is coming.
Okay, let's unpack that historical bit first, get the background right. We're talking about the Celts, this festival, Samhain, around October 31st, over 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe we should nail the pronunciation. It's so-in, right? Not Samhain.
Exactly, so-in. And the reason for it is key. It was all about this huge, frankly, terrifying transition.
From abundance to scarcity.
Precisely. End of the harvest, food stored up, it's still relatively warm. And then, boom, you're heading into months of darkness, cold, and potential starvation. Winter wasn't just a possibility, it felt like a certainty.
And their mindset, their beliefs played a huge role here, too. The sources say they believed the veil between worlds, between the living and the dead, got thin on that night.
Right. Spirits could cross over, good ones, bad ones. It added this whole other layer of danger, not just physical hardship, but spiritual threat, too.
So you've got real scarcity looming and potentially hostile spirits roaming around. That sounds pretty stressful.
Definitely. But here's the first big lesson we pull from this. They didn't just freeze up in fear.
They acted.
They acted together as a community, proactively. And think about the bonfires. Those huge fires weren't just symbolic.
Right, they were practical.
Very practical. They were meant to ward off spirits, sure, but also provide actual light, guidance, and protection during the darkest time of the year. A literal beacon.
And the costumes, that connects directly to Halloween now, obviously.
Yeah, but back then it wasn't about candy. It was about protection. They wore costumes, often animal skins.
Like animal skins?
Well, maybe partly as a disguise. To blend in with or fool the spirits. A kind of shield, both psychological and, they hoped, spiritual.
Okay.
And they left out food offerings, too. Not just random kindness. It was a calculated move. Appease the spirits, guard against harm, ensure the community had enough to survive those lean months.
So it's all deeply practical, rooted in facing that transition.
Absolutely. And if you look at how Samhain is sometimes observed even today, that theme of cycles, of death and renewal is still there, accepting that one phase ends and you have to actively prepare for the next, maybe tougher one.
That acceptance feels crucial.
It's the foundation for resilience, really.
Okay, so let's bridge this. Bring this ancient survival mindset into, say, the modern real estate market. The Celts faced a guaranteed winter. An agent faces, well, market fluctuations, sometimes predictable, sometimes not. How does that parallel hold up?
Well, the sources really emphasize it's less about the guarantee of winter and more about the predictable volatility. Think about it. Agents deal with seasons, right? Busy spring markets, slower periods. They deal with interest rate changes, economic shifts. There are cycles. A harvest time with lots of activity, then slower times, the winter, with maybe less inventory or fewer buyers.
So the slower periods, they aren't necessarily failure, they're the market's winter.
Exactly. It's the time you have to use to regroup, look at what worked and what didn't, and get ready for the next upswing.
But hang on, a market dip could just be a blip, right? A few bad weeks. The Celtic winter was months long, unavoidable. Yeah. How do you know if you're facing a real winter or just some bad weather, professionally speaking?
That's a great question. And I think the difference lies in the scale of the response needed.
Okay.
The Celts were prepping for months of genuine hardship. For a modern professional, think about major disruptions, big regulatory changes, a sudden spike in interest rates that lasts, the long-term inventory crisis. Those aren't just bad weather.
Those are the winter.
Those are your professional winter.
Yes.
And the key lesson from the Celts here is they didn't let the fear paralyze them. They saw the spirits of uncertainty coming, and they took practical steps.
Right. So it's about reframing, seeing these challenges not just as problems, but as, well, the landscape, and finding opportunities within that.
That's the core opportunity Samhain teaches us. Turning challenges, difficult clients, tough economic conditions into fuel for building real resilience.
And the source material gives us 3 specific strategies drawn from these traditions.
Yeah, 3 timeless strategies. Let's dig into the first one. Light your own bonfire.
I like that. A bonfire is big, visible, communal, provides light, warmth, guidance in the dark.
Exactly. And for today's professional, that bonfire represents 2 things. Knowledge and connections. Community.
Okay, knowledge. How so?
It means constantly learning, sharpening your expertise, not just reading headlines, but really investing in education, understanding the deep local market trends, staying informed so you can anticipate change, not just react when it hits you.
So illuminating your own path.
Precisely. But the other half is crucial too, the community aspect. The bonfire was for everyone.
Right. It wasn't just one person's little campfire. So how does that apply? More than just standard networking.
Oh, much more. The sources emphasize active resource sharing, especially when things get tight, like in winter. For an agent, this could mean being part of industry groups where people genuinely share insights, maybe even non-competitive leads sometimes.
Okay.
Or pooling resources for marketing during slow periods to get more bang for your buck. Setting up mentorships where experienced pros actively guide newer ones through tough markets. It's about building a network that acts as a real lifeline, not just a contact list.
That's a much deeper take on networking. Okay, strategy 2. Don your protective costume. The Celts used animal skins. What's the modern equivalent? How radical does this costume need to be?
It needs to be radically adaptive. That's the key.
Adaptability.
Yes. Your costume today is your evolving skill set, your toolkit. It's what protects you from market shifts, changing client needs, and maybe most importantly, from becoming stagnant yourself.
So it's about not getting left behind when things change.
Exactly. The Celts costumes help them navigate uncertainty. Our costumes, our skills and tools need to help us navigate market shifts without becoming obsolete or ineffective.
Can you give some concrete examples? What does this costume look like in practice, say, for an agent right now?
Well, technology is a big one. Embracing things that make you more efficient or reach clients differently. The sources mention high-quality virtual tours or staging. That's like armor when inventory is low or people can't view in person.
Makes sense.
But it's also about your strategies. If your old marketing playbook isn't working in a downturn, your costume involves rapidly switching things up. Maybe pivoting hard to sophisticated social media outreach or really targeted digital ads. It's about being flexible enough to change your whole approach if the environment demands it.
So the costume ensures you stay relevant, visible, effective.
Right. It protects you by keeping you in the game.
Okay. And the third strategy, ward off negative spirits. The Celts face down spirits. What are the spirits we face? Is it just rejection or deals falling through?
It could be those things, sure. But the sources suggest thinking bigger too. Systemic spirits.
Like what?
Like sudden regulatory changes that impact your business model, unexpected tax hikes, or even just the pervasive anxiety about where the market is heading next, that fear of the bubble bursting.
Ah, okay. So this isn't just about staying positive.
No, it's more robust than that. It's about building a resilient system, both personally and professionally, that can handle these bigger shocks, confronting these institutional spirits head on.
So less think happy thoughts and more build strong defenses.
Exactly. It's about managing your energy for the long haul, like preparing for that long winter.
How do you do that practically?
Well, self-care is part of it, but framed as energy management. Setting small, achievable daily goals is huge. When the big deals aren't closing, you need that sense of momentum.
Keep moving forward.
Yes. And track the small wins. The sources suggest looking at micrometrics, not just sales, but maybe successful new contacts made, positive client feedback, hours invested in learning something new. Celebrate those. That constant reinforcement builds your shield against burnout and keeps motivation up during those lean times.
Okay, so we have the 3 strategies. The bonfire of knowledge and community, the adaptive costume of skills and flexibility, and the shield of resilience and energy management. Let's try to pull this all together. What are the main takeaways for you, the listener?
I think the first most fundamental thing is accepting change. Seeing it not as a roadblock, but actually as a necessary catalyst.
A catalyst for what?
Forcing you to step back, look hard at your business, and refine your approach. It prompts growth.
Right. And all this preparation, the bonfire, the costume, it leads to confidence, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The prepared professional is the confident professional. Going back to the analogies, the bonfire means maybe setting aside, say, 10% of your time or income now, during the good times, to invest in future-proofing your skills, learning about new tech, understanding demographic shifts. Keep feeding that fire.
And the costume, that's about radical flexibility, being ready to ditch strategies that worked last season if they aren't working now.
You have to be willing to adapt quickly to what clients need today, not yesterday. Clinging to old ways is how you freeze in the winter.
We also talked about the power of community. Samhain was communal.
Critically so.
Yeah.
The challenges were too big for one person. So for professionals today, building genuinely strong, supportive relationships with colleagues, clients, your community, that's not just nice to have.
It's essential.
The sources call it a lifeline, especially when things get tough for you individually.
And finally, it comes back to courage, right? The Celts acted before the worst hit.
Yes. Facing uncertainty with proactive planning, having contingency plans, seeing every setback, every difficult client, every market dip, not as a failure, but as a lesson in endurance, just like winter tested the Celts.
So drawing on these ancient lessons really can help transform that feeling of market uncertainty into, well, an opportunity.
An opportunity for reinvention, for growth. Embrace the cycles, be ready to change your costume, and lean on your bonfires, your knowledge, and your network.
It's a powerful reminder from the origins of Halloween, really.
Yeah.
Facing challenges, embracing change, that's the path to growth. And like the Celts around their bonfire, you don't have to walk it alone.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with, something to chew on.
Okay.
We talked about how Samhain traditions evolved over time, right?
Yep.
From survival ritual to community festival, Halloween itself changed.
Mm-hmm.
So the question for you is, how can you apply that idea of constant evolution, not just adapting when you're forced to, but proactively, continuously evolving to your own career path, always staying ahead, always ready for whatever winter might come?
Constant evolution, not just reaction. That's definitely something to think about.
Food for thought.
Indeed. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.